It's exactly 19:30 Central African Time. Good evening and welcome to Network. My name is Siphumelele Zondi. We're rounding off Youth Month in South Africa, so we decided to spend time with Soshanguve students who built iPad-operated toy cars. We also have info on how Johannesburg-based The Creative Council started a campaign to get Nigerians to use Facebook to open bank accounts. Our discussion tonight is with SABC. They have teamed up with Facebook to give South Africans a free basic internet. Remember that we are live, so find us on SABC Network on Facebook and Twitter. It's News Network at sabc.co.za and email. Let's start with your technology and social media news. Pupils from a school in Soshanguve outside Pretoria had a chance to build their own remote-controlled toy cars. After months of working on the project, they showed off their skills in a toy car race on Friday. The end result might seem like a good fun, but it was hard work for the students of Soshanguve Technical High School. It's been months of agonizing, designing and building toy cars for the students of Soshanguve Technical High School near Pretoria. But there's been a lot of learning here for the kids as well.
It taught us many things, and using the iPad was very cool, and it taught us how technology improves our lives.
The task from BMW and iSchool Africa was for them to build miniature Mini Coopers or something that resembles the real deal. The car had to be remotely controlled with an iPad. Then it was time for the race to test who has executed the project really well. There were crashes, stumbles, and well, in the end, they all eventually managed to move their cars. The skills they received here can be used in the real world.
When you build, you also need a little bit of civil skill. But again, for something to move, you need mechanical skill. And remember, there is also power there for that thing to move. Then you need electrical.
I learned how to work with the team and to have fun. So we have fun with the team, communicate to each other, bring out different plans and everything, different mindsets and everything, and make it at the best.
And BMW, which partnered with the school, says the skills used here are critical for the South African economy.
They were able to be responsible from start to finish, from a design right through to the implementation stage of this project.
iSchool Africa has been working with several schools in similar initiatives.
We make sure that everything we do makes our youth more employable. So we make it more employable through two things. One is through skills. So they've learned a huge amount of skills, not just technical, but team building, collaboration, but also through exposure to what's going on.
While the cars did move, the task was also to make something that resembles the real Mini Cooper. But the pupils seem to have their own ideas in mind.
I'm very excited. I saw one of the cars is actually a truck, so maybe that's a hint to us as BMW Group and Mini that we need a mini pickup truck of some sort.
The race course was also designed and built by the Soshanguve Technical High School learners. They used recyclable material. That's the brilliance of future engineers in South Africa. Now, if you've ever been interested in learning how to make advertisements that end up on Google, or perhaps if you want other digital skills, there is now a free program that does this. It's called a Digital Bytes, and it is targeting universities and colleges.
It's the centre of Johannesburg, and Liberty Africa, Google and the British Council are launching a digital skills training program. They say it's because South Africa doesn't have enough of these skills.
I think the 21st century will need a different set of skills to the ones that I had when I was a young engineering student. Coding will be more important. Everything will be done in a digital way.
Some of the skills that are required in these industries have changed tremendously as well. And we'd love to see more and more young people in South Africa taking advantage of the opportunities in the digital industry.
And if one acquires them, they are likely to succeed in today's marketplace.
digital skills can accelerate someone into a whole range of new jobs, not just in marketing, but systems administration, front-end programming, end-user conversion, all these new types of jobs that most of us don't even understand what they are.
Employability is a really fundamentally important part of that. And what's the future? The future is skills like this that young people are going to need to really get their place in the market.
So Liberty Africa has decided to train some of the graduates of its Digify program. They have now become Digify Bytes trainers. Digify Bytes is a 2-day program that will be done in collaboration with interested universities to give various skills that are necessary for one to function in today's digital landscape. Trainers say they are looking forward to providing critical knowledge and skills to some of their peers in South African universities.
A lot goes into it. We touched on a lot of different areas like search engine optimization, social media, search engine marketing.
In digital marketing and digital strategy. And then we will go through different modules like SEO, AdWords, UX and web design. We're actually compiling the modules last week that we're going to go through in the training program.
Liberty Africa says universities and colleges interested in receiving some of the free training should contact them. All the details are in the Liberty Africa website.
There was a time when marketing companies would go to shopping centers to try to get activations. Nowadays, social media is one of the methods used for this. Johannesburg-based The Creative Council has been successfully using Facebook to get Nigerians to open new accounts with GT Bank.
Sometimes it is a struggle for businesses to get people to take action and open new accounts. In the past, this could be done by passing out forms and flyers in shopping centers. But in its campaign, Johannesburg The Creative Council has come up with a new innovative way to get Nigerians to open GT Bank accounts. With the campaign, Nigerians could click on a Facebook link and then open a bank account there. This is a campaign that went beyond getting people to like a Facebook page.
You have to be super smart in your targeting, super smart in the message that you use when you use the targeting platforms that you use, and always make sure that there's an end goal in mind. So in other words, the like is not an end goal, that's the means to an end. That's saying let's get people. But what do you do with it? So if you want them to open bank accounts, rather focus on your end goal and use technology to enable you in getting to your end goal.
We do a lot of work with GT Bank in Nigeria. They are one of the most progressive and innovative banks. And so we've got the opportunity to work with them. And what we've done is we've actually built an onboarding acquisition channel for consumers to open bank accounts fully on social media, on Facebook. And where the success is that we're actually driving new bank account openings, which is a direct business objective of the bank.
In previous campaigns, GT Bank spent a lot of money to try to woo people, but this one reduced the cost by about 5 times.
Their cost to open an account is about $50. With technology, we've got the cost down to about $10, which means they can open 5 times as many accounts on the same budget, and that's only because of technology.
While this campaign may have worked really well in Nigeria, it is something that cannot really be repeated in South Africa. This is because one has to go to a bank with proof of residence before opening an account.
Specifically for this campaign, in terms of opening up bank accounts, there's no FICA there, right? So there are legal limitations of doing it here.
But what the folks at the Creative Council and its Pop-Eye Media have shown is that social media can be used creatively as a new activation method.
Here's what else has been happening in the rest of the tech world.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the SABC News Tech Wrap. I'm Nebogang Sejake.
And I'm Matiba Sibanyoni. A lot has happened in the tech space over the past week. Google launched Google News Labs, which is basically a combination of news tools for journalists.
The News Lab is Google's effort to use our technologies to be part of this innovation in journalism that's happening today.
We're really focused on how we can empower journalists and media entrepreneurs through tools, data, and programs.
Google says in the past decade, better technology and an open internet have led to a revolution in how news is created, distributed, and consumed. Tools included in Google News Labs include Google Maps, YouTube, Google Fusion, and Google Trends. Hopefully this will change a lot, especially for journalists who are in rural areas or don't have the resources to do all these things. You don't have to pay for the tools, so you just get them there.
Yeah, well, they're going to require internet usage.
Exactly.
So it's not necessarily free.
No.
Okay.
Nothing's free.
German Chancellor Angela Merkel says while Facebook is a nice thing to have, like a washing machine, it should not be seen as the key to a happy life.
I have a Facebook page in my capacity as party leader, and I think that for a lot of people, Facebook is great. But Facebook won't make your whole life happy. It is a nice thing to have, like a car or a decent washing machine.
Facebook is the world's largest social media network with over 1.4 billion users, according to figures the company released for the first quarter of 2015.
Now, every week, ROI Media Africa takes a look at trending topics around the world and in South Africa. Question Time took a large chunk of the social media pie with about 42.18 reference made. Pay Back the Money made social conversation about the EFF the second largest story of the week. This also took place during the Q&A session with President Zuma. Also ranking high on social media in the same week was Eskom and the Charleston shooting with reference to the old South African flag.
Since its launch in April, the Apple smartwatch seems to be shaking up the watch industry.
News come after reports showing that well-known Swiss watch brand sales have taken a near 10% plunge.
There's a feeling, generally speaking, that this will actually eat into some profits. You've seen a number of analysts suggest that it might take between 5 and 10% out of the Swiss watch market.
However, there's still some smartwatch issues that need to be ironed out, such as the device's battery life. Apple's watch only lasts a week compared to an entire year with some traditional watches.
Well, that's it from us this week. Coming to you from the Josie Hub, I'm Matiba Simanyoni.
And I'm Lebogang Sejake. And from us, it's ciao for now.
It's SABC Network on Facebook and Twitter, News Network at sabc.co.za and email. After the break, we're going to talk about Facebook's internet.org with Cell C. Stay with us.
SABC News seeks to be the biggest, the most extensive and diverse news organization on the continent. Our mission is to provide accurate and credible news and current affairs programming throughout the day. We are committed to covering every part of the continent. We reflect the world to Africa and Africa to the world. SABC News, Africa's news leader. Now available throughout the continent.
SABC Network on Facebook and Twitter, welcome back and thank you for being with us tonight. Now, as Youth Month comes to an end in South Africa, we thought it would be great to remind ourselves of some young people we met this month. They're using technology to make the lives of Africans a little easier.
As we wrap up Youth Month, we look back at some of the young people who are using their innovative skills to better people's lives.
When I went to college and did IT, I thought that there's a gap in agriculture. IT has not been explored in agriculture as compared to commerce. So I thought that niche I'll make improvement for that niche.
Some of these inventions are targeted at spreading awareness and letting others know that South Africa is a country that welcomes all people from different corners of the world.
What pushed us the most is that I wanted to say, not in our name, you can't do xenophobia in our name.
other young South Africans believe that coming together for a common cause is key to bringing a positive change.
I think what's important for us as young South Africans is to start collaborating more, because there's so much power in learning from other people who've already done what you're trying to do. And one thing that I've realized about just traveling around Africa is, confidence and that self-belief it's almost like they have it in droves, where South Africans are still lagging behind even there.
Now, Facebook's Internet.org program has already launched in Malawi, Tanzania, Kenya, and Ghana. It has been announced that the next country to receive free basic internet services as part of the company's initiative is South Africa. In South Africa, Facebook is partnering with SABC in this. In studio, we have SABC's Executive Head of Product, Suri Ramasari. Hello, and thank you for being a part of our network, Suri.
Good evening, Sipalele.
Now, Suri, what exactly is Internet.org?
Internet.org is a platform that's allowing communities out there to be able to access the internet. And it's mainly targeted underserved communities that don't have access to the internet. And through Internet.org and the partnership with Facebook, it allows SABC, sharing the similar vision as Facebook, to allow the communities to now access basic internet. If you look at the government at large and in terms of their health challenges, a lot of communities that are suffering from HIV and TB, when they start to go onto their medication, they lapse after a short while. And we're hoping through the launch of Internet.org, we can allow these communities to start getting educated about the health and how to take care of their health through a free platform.
When we say free basic internet, what exactly do we mean there?
So customers will be able to access the platform for absolutely free. As long as they have a SABC SIM card and they have recharged with any amount, they'll get access to 30 days every time they recharge.
What am I getting?
They're getting access to a platform with free internet. There is a
But I'm not going to be able to stream, am I?
No, you won't be able to stream. That's not the purpose of the initiative, because if you look at streaming consumes a lot of data. And if we allow heavy volumes of data to be streamed, it will obviously impact us from a revenue perspective, but also starting to get lots of users through free services streaming, and it will start to congest the network, therefore not allowing the broader masses to be able to access the internet in a confined manner.
What's in it for SABC?
Like I mentioned earlier, SABC is about connecting the people in South Africa, and this initiative allows us to get communities out there to start connecting, getting access to the internet, getting aware of news services, education, job news, and a lot of services out there. And the one initiative that we've embarked on, we've had a lot of schools approach us, students, government, health departments, to allow certain sites for free access to educate the communities. And the partnership with Internet.org allows us to do that in a very controlled manner, that will be able to give equal access in terms of people using the platform, because you get access to basic text information and very light pictures compared to heavy data streaming.
We do know that a lot of network providers are making their money through data nowadays as well. Yes. But if you make this available for free, that means you won't be making the money you could be making through data.
Okay. So if you understand what Internet.org does, it allows people to access the internet, but not only a certain confined area of the internet and getting access to information. It allows them access to the broader internet. So the moment they move out of the basic information and want to explore the internet and get more access to the internet, they will be paying for services through bundles that we'll make available at obviously very competitive rates.
All right. Now, the product has launched in other parts of the African continent, yes. Obviously not through SABC. Yes. What do you know about its successes, perhaps failures there?
So internet.org through Facebook has now connected over 9 million new users to the internet, and it's been very successful in a lot of parts of the world. Big organizations like Airtel and Tigo are now rolling it across multiple operations because they've realized that giving customers access to the basic internet creates stickiness on their base and longer tenure customers, and they start to use the internet more, thus generating more revenue for the organizations.
Cell C is the only network provider that wanted to do this. Do you know why the others didn't want to?
I believe that Facebook has approached all the network operators in South Africa, but Cell C was one of the first to move quite quickly and launch. Not sure where they are with the other operations at this stage, but it's not an exclusive agreement to Cell C.
So it's not exclusive to Cell C. Then what's the relationship with Facebook like? What sort of relationship do you have with Facebook through this?
So we've partnered with Facebook to be the first in South Africa to allow internet.org and share in the same vision that they want in terms of getting large volumes of people around the world to be connected to the internet.
You're optimistic, obviously.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much for joining us, Suri Ramasari from Cell C. Thank you for being a part of our network tonight.
Thank you.
All right, it's SABC Network on Facebook and Twitter. We're on News Network at sabc.co.za on email. Let's take a short break. Welcome back. Remember that we are live, so you can find us on social media on SABC Network. Now, there are rumors that LG is planning to release its G4 Pro phone towards the end of the year. But the G4 was only released a couple of weeks ago in South Africa. So before we see the rumored G4 Pro, we played around with the G4.
LG has been promoting the leather back panel that some G4s have. But the one we received does not have leather, but its plastic cover still looks slick and fancy. The Android phone operates with Lollipop 5.1, which means the system is up there with the best of them. LG said that the G4's predecessors had a curved screen to have the same shape as your face, but the curved screen is gone now. The phone has a Quad HD 5.5-inch screen that is really good for watching videos and viewing photographs. What's really great about this is the 16-megapixel rear camera, as most people use their cell phones to take photographs nowadays. The camera gives amazing aperture for really good photographs, even in a place without natural light. So the LG G4 is one of the best smartphones out there in the market today. It retails at about 9,000 Rand.
Let's see what some people have been sharing in social media. The official DA Twitter account says a party leader Mmusi Maimane will visit Marikana. This has also been shared by others that work for the party. South Africans have been celebrating with Orlando Pirates, who beat AC Leopards yesterday. The score of that match was 1-0. Many posts in social media are in solidarity with Tunisians who have experienced their second terror attack this year. Many have been protesting against this in the North African country. That's all we have for you. Remember that you can find us on SABC Network on Facebook and Twitter. It's News Network at sabc.co.za on email. We leave you with a video that shows what can happen to your car if parked in the parking spots of people with disabilities in Brazil. From me and the rest of the network team, have a good one.
Wow.